Are you serious? Are you serious? Good afternoon. It is Saturday. It is the Sabbath. It is December the 14th, 2013. I thought I would break in right now, guys, and get you up to speed on the Comet ISON's debris trail. Now, we know Comet ISON during the perihelion broke apart. Too much intensity, too much heat. It was too close to the sun. Broke apart. But those big, huge, dark rocks are still traveling together. No, they don't have the electrical charge that gives it that bright, brilliant, spectacular event that we all were hoping we could get to see, and a spectacular, the glory of God, if you will. But what we do know is the debris trail on Comet ISON is enormous. It's enormous. If you remember, the Comet ISON did the perihelion on Thanksgiving Day. That was November the 28th. Today is December the 14th. We're talking a little more than 2 weeks. And now there is debris from the tail hitting the sun. That should show you the length of this tail. NASA realizes it's hitting the sun. They're quite large, and they're creating solar explosions and eruptions. Now, Jesse Waltman of BP Earthwatch has done a video on that. He actually did it yesterday. I believe it was yesterday he did it. He calls it ISON's incoming debris hitting the sun. The reason it's still the tail, even though ISON whipped around the sun, the tail was still coming, and it has to whip around the sun. But in its process of doing it, many of these big rocks are striking the surface of the sun and exploding, creating massive solar eruptions and explosions. And it's been captured by NASA telescopes, and so Jesse has it on film. Meanwhile, there is the International Meteor Organization is reporting that the Gemini meteor shower is now between 100 and 200 meteorites crossing through the Earth's atmosphere per hour being detected right now. Nothing to fear there. Nothing to fear at all. But this debris trail on ISON, this is what we're watching. Folks, you should see the explosions on the sun. Matter of fact, I'm going to play a little bit of BP Earthwatch commentary from what he's visualizing, what he's watching, and how he's wondering why NASA's not being more forthcoming and alerting the public more than what they are. I do know what the Bible said in the Word of God. Before I play Jesse's comments, in Luke chapter 21, Jesus was speaking about the end time signs. And one of the things he said was in verse 10, "Then said he unto them," when asked the question, "Can you tell us the signs of the end of times and before your coming?" And he said, "Nation shall rise against nation." This is Luke 21:10. "Nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights. And great signs shall there be from heaven." Again, fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And then he says, on down in the 25th verse, Luke 21:25, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and looking after those things which are coming on the earth." Something biblical is going on right now, folks, on the sun. And is it why NASA's not telling us what these rocks, as they come toward the earth, they're not going to hit us, they're not supposed to. The problem is the earth is going to pass through the debris trail. When? January 12th through the 19th. So when we pass through the tail, what are we going to encounter? These size rocks and explosions that are hitting the sun? Or are we just going to slide through? That's God's business. I don't know, but let me give you some of the comments here by Jesse at BP Earthwatch.
Of one of those large rocks and ISON's tail coming in and slamming into the sun. Guys, the reason I'm doing this is because those large objects, not all of them are hitting the sun. We've got a large trail. Notice here, 624. These are today's. After 648, you see they skipped the frame of 636 that shows the object. If you go back today and look at LASCO C2, you're not going to see frame 636 when that object's coming in. Why would they do that? But guys, we have a large debris field that we're going through, and the International Space Station had better. Guys, I don't know if you guys on the space station can hear what I'm saying. If they let you watch YouTube videos, they probably don't. I don't know what they're showing you, but you better not be there when we go through this debris field.
Wow.
But they have, yesterday on Wonderground, they gave a slight report that, a small report that they may have had the leak sealed. They did not. Now they think it's a valve. So they still have half the cooling system down on this International Space Station. You also have that Chinese Dragon up there, their space station, and we have thousands of satellites. Guys, you saw how big that object was. You saw how they're taking the frames out so we don't see that debris field.
So Jesse's telling you, the debris trail behind ISON has huge rocks and asteroids in it. Some of them are hitting the sun as it whips around the sun. Some of them are diving in and crashing against the sun. He has actual cameras taking the pictures of it. And they show them going in. Huge. We're talking huge, mega eruptions on the sun. Now, not all those rocks are going to hit the sun. Many, many millions of them are going to survive the perihelion and are going to continue to follow the Comet ISON's big dark rocks that are still the head of this comet as it races through the sky. Yes, the comet's dead. The rocks aren't. Okay, so as it's following it, the Earth, even though the big rocks of the comet's going to go over top the Earth about 40 million miles above us on Christmas Day, December 25th, 26th, right in there. That's not the problem. The problem is after it goes by, the Earth does its orbit, comes back around, and this debris trail is so long, we're going to go right into the path of these rocks. And my wife had a dream that disturbed her about two snakes that were crossing paths. One was a darker snake, and one was a lighter snake that was blonde. And one had a bigger head on it. She began to pray. She told me about it next morning. I said, honey, I don't know what it is. I don't have the interpretation. She sought the face of God in prayer. And the Lord told her, he said, these are the two debris trails that are going to cross. And now, she didn't get any revelation of anything catastrophe going to happen to the earth. But certainly, this was a little bit of a heads up, a little bit of a warning in her spirit. Jesse's given us plenty of warnings. Now, go to his page and watch this video. It's called ISON's Incoming Debris Hitting the Sun. All I know is this. Jesus said we would have these events. He said there would be fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And then in Revelation 8:8, he even gives you some events that are going to happen. When he spoke to John the Revelator and gave him revelation knowledge about these things, he told him that there was a day coming. I'm not saying that the Comet ISON is going to create this event. It can. The rocks are big enough. We're going to cross through the path. But I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying one day it's going to happen. When? You tell me. I don't know. Neither do you. But something has to create this event in Revelation 8:8. It says the second angel sounded, and it was a great mountain, burning with fire, was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood. And a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And a third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell from a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it goes on to explain to you that, of course, it creates a wormwood event. I'm just giving you, these are scriptural, these are prophecies by Jesus Christ. It's not a negative message by Paul Begley. It is the words of Jesus Christ giving you the clues of events that take place. before the end of the world. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. God bless you. Just don't give your life to Jesus Christ. Get saved. This past week, we had an unbelievable week of salvation. Unbelievable. The most people we've ever had saved in a week online since we've been on the internet here for over 3 years. It was unbelievable. Way over 200, almost 300 people, 280 or something like that. Unbelievable that we know of. So we know people are coming to Jesus Christ, and we want to encourage you to do that. Don't miss my live show, Sunday Night Live. It's going to be powerful. I may actually ask Jesse Waltman, could he call in for at least 15 minutes and just give me a little more understanding of these asteroids, these big rocks that are hitting the sun right now, and they are part of the debris trail that we have to encounter on January the 12th through the 19th when we pass through ISON's debris trail. What are we going to encounter during the 7 days of passage? Give your life to Jesus Christ. God bless.